Hey everybody, this is Julie. I thought I'd do a quick recording to add to some of the information on the memos and just give you guys my personal perspective on this, and this may help you with your viewpoints on it. So take a look at what you wrote and then listen to this video and then let me know if you have any questions. So I'm looking at one of the two sample reports that are provided in week 4 discussion. This one is the Donna Griggs one, head administrator of the surgery center at Cedar Lake. So you'll notice in the beginning, and this is not formatted in a Word document, but, and you're not expected to do APA style for this. Imagine the difference between like APA format and other web writing. You'll notice that this looks more like a letter than it does double-spaced APA style. Okay, so first of all, visually, the format will include these pieces of information, and I think it's really important for you guys to have a to statement so we know who the stakeholder is that you're reporting to, your name, the date, and then a specific subject. Not it shouldn't say something like research or writing assignment 3. You see that the specific subject is here. Other visual cues for the memo, I think, are really important for you guys to incorporate when you do this work next week, when you start working on it for the submission on the 21st. A summary, that's background of the information. And by the way, you can borrow some of the information from your literature review. The idea is that the lit review is a pre-writing assignment for the final writing assignment number 4. So if you have a little bit in that introduction that you want to repeat, that's okay with me. It's different, but you know, some of the general background information could be the same, and of course you could use that. These headers are very helpful in business documents. You can see that they're provided, they're consistent, and then the same font size as the actual text. I would encourage you to do that. To determine what to capitalize and what not to capitalize, there's this wonderful website called capitalizemytitle.com. And it has tabs in there, and it says, well, put your title in this field, like a search field, and then depending on the style, it will tell you what words need to be capitalized. You could absolutely use that. This does look like it's following APA capitalization, not of references, but of like the title pages and things like that. So that website's capitalizemytitle.com. And you'll see that there's a summary section. There is a what the problem is and why it needs to be investigated section. There is what the secondary research, so that is a summary of your lit review. So overall, go to your conclusion of your lit review and see if there's information that you can borrow from that. I don't recommend you just cut and pasting it word for word because some of it's going to read out of context, but you can use that as a template to build this. And then what primary research you will conduct. Look at your other discussion this week, and with that other discussion, you can condense, you know, some of that based on the feedback you're getting from peers and the feedback you should already have from me on that. The benefits that will result, like if your recommendation for standing desks, so your recommendation for, working on updating technology in the office, is implemented, what's the best that could happen? Okay, then of course, you know, ideas for implementation and a conclusion. So this is a text with all of these different parts, right? And then I always recommend for my students to go into, you know, the assignments, to go into the, let's see, actually I want to go back. So I'm going to go to week 4. Okay, I apologize. I had to go into writing assignment number 3. Excuse me for that. And I turned on my view as a student. And what you guys can see, and my strong recommendation as you start to build writing assignment number 3, is that you really abide by the rubric. I went on assignments. I clicked on writing assignment number 3. You've got the general overview. You've got that Word document handout, and then you've got the grading rubric. I use this explicitly to grade your grades. And so I give inline feedback, and then I go through and I'm looking at word length. So if you submit, you know, a super short memo, you're going to lose a lot of points. The formatting, the memorandum follows the standard conventions with a to, from, date, and subject. I went over that just a minute ago. The memorandum is written to a specific decision maker. A lot of it will depend on your tone, but that you identify a really good audience and that what you say in the text matches who you're actually writing for. That you have the headers, that you've got all these different sections. If you skip some of these are obviously worth a significant amount of points. Look at what the problem is, the primary research, and then the benefits. The difference between like this class and writing 112 is obviously one is academic writing, one is business writing. But when you're doing a business writing class in an academic environment, there tends to be a blend between the two, right? So establishing secondary research is more on the academic side, and then in the business writing side, the primary research tends to be much more applicable to the work you do in a business environment. So you can kind of see how now we are tipping the balance into sort of a business writing environment and providing more value to your primary research on this assignment. Okay, but both have significant value. The secondary research informs what primary research you do, so they are absolutely related. Okay, so you can see the different section feedback, and then you can see that a good 30% of your memo value is grammar and mechanics. And this may seem extremely punitive, but memos are short, sweet documents that need to be written in a clear and effective manner for them to, for you to get what you want out of the use of the memo. So my recommendation is to work with me before this is due, which I would recommend sometime next week. We still have about, 10 days, 11 days, 10 days before it's due. Set up times to do conferences. Email me a draft of what you've got, and then we can discuss together strategies for enhancing any bit and piece of this that may be missing. One of the best ways to do really well in any of your UMGC classes is to use the rubrics as an editorial checklist on your writing assignments. And it's especially important to spend extra time on the grammar, because small documents, the grammar mechanics issues are way more obvious, and we want to be able to fix those because sometimes in business writing you only get one chance to make your case. So anyhow, reach out if you have any questions, and I look forward to talking to you guys next week.